All right. Good day, everyone. Welcome to our second day of the boot camp. Okay. So, man, I see Sulik and Adam and see all of some of the old regular faces, and I see a whole bunch of new ones too. So, thank you guys for joining us. Um, Poland is here, and I know you guys there's a big group of people in the Microsoft meet as well who are getting translated. So, love it. Okay, so today we're gonna talk, or every day we're gonna do this. We're gonna go over the trades that happened today. We're gonna talk about, the profitability and some of the things that we got out of them. And then, but specifically today, I want to, and I hope there's probably gonna be some brand new people, and this might be a little bit more extensive, but I want to explain everybody what the little dot is, and I want to have a little bit more conversation about what the VIX actually means. Okay. So I want to just talk about what the VIX is. That's kind of what that's going to be our education piece here today. We're going to educate you on what the VIX means. I went over it for about 5 minutes yesterday. I'm going to go over that just a little bit shorter today, and then we're going to do a little back test of what we should have got out of some of the signals. I'll tell you, I got 70 pips here today using Supernova, but I did close a trade that I should have held that would have got me a few pips. But I'm going to talk a little bit about all the signals that were on the chart here today. Okay, so first things first, I am going to share the screen. Oh, bad boy is running. Okay. All right, everybody can see that chart. Put one in the chat. You can see my chart, please and thank you. Okay, so what we're going to talk about here today is this little red dot you see over here. Okay. This little red dot you see, man, this thing is about to go on a run. Beauty run. She coming. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about this little dot over here. Everybody can see how this thing is changing, right? This guy right here. This little dot you see correlates to in the bootcamp chat, you see a signal come, right? And the only real confirmation we have um, with our in this scanner right now is this little button. Okay, this little dot you see. Okay. And what this dot is, okay, okay, um, right, what this dot is the buying and selling sentiment in the market. Okay, now what do I mean by sentiment? It means whether the market is more inclined to buy this or more inclined to sell this. And and when we're looking for those, those impulsive moves or those reversals, this is important to know that the sentiment of the market is with us, right? Because we're going to look to run and grab some pips and we want to jump in and join, right? We want to jump in and join the direction that the sentiment's going and the market is going as well. And if we can have both of those things, these signals, that VIX tends to give us, a little bit better indication of those better signals. And I don't think we actually got it on this one, and this one was a nice run. But we're going to talk about what it is. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the VIX. I'm going to go scroll down to it here. Okay. So this is essentially the VIX. You can see it on the 1 minute. It's very choppy because what it is it's actually, okay, it's actually based on orders. It's actually based on options. Okay, the options market where people are putting certain options, to expire at this level or join at this level or sell at this level. Those types of things, they're putting options in the market. So the VIX is built, and when you see, a whole bunch of people putting sell options in the market, right? Um, a whole bunch of people putting sell options into the market, this is going to shift some of the sentiment. Right. And you can see Supernova's on here. Obviously, we don't use Supernova. You tend to use this. This comes, from your 5 minute charts. Okay. So you can see right now, this sentiment is based in sell, right? Which is based on the structure. It's based on positions and options. Okay. Yeah, just do it right here. If you want to add it, just look up the VIX. I'm not sure. It says the bottom. It's CBOE. This is literally the bank options market. That's what that CBOE stands for. You can just get it on the S&P. So just look for that, okay, on the S&P. And you can add that to your chart so you can take a look at it. Okay. So what we're getting is the transfer of the information that's happening on this chart onto our chart. So that we don't have to have the VIX open. This was actually, communicated from my man Robert. He would actually have the VIX chart open. And we added this piece to it so that we could have it automated. Yes, sir. We'll enable that. Okay. So we could have it automated, okay, on the chart we're trading, which is essentially, the 1 minute chart on US 30, right? And NAS and other things. We're going to focus just on US 30. And I know there's lots of opportunities to use it in other places, people who like crypto and all those things. So we're just focusing on US 30. When you come, you join the community, we'll take that to the next level. We have a Supernova chat where we talk about all our positions and all our things, and people are trading in all these multiple positions. You have Adam to help you with NAS. You got Robert to help you with US 30. We got Marco to help you with Bitcoin if you're trading as Bitcoin, and you'll have me to help you, with US 30 and gold and all of those things as well. Okay. So this is translating the options market. This is telling you what the actual people who are buying into the companies, like buying stocks and buying shares and buying those things, it's telling you the option orders. Okay, so that's what it's telling you. When we switch over to any other chart, okay, it's going to tell us what that means and help us understand a little bit about what the sentiment or the buying sentiment would be in the market. My circle stayed in the right place. Okay, tell you what the sentiment might be so we can make sure that these impulsive moves are going to move the direction we're supposed to. So essentially, it's the buy and sell orders in the options market translated into a chart where it kind of shows you the price and shows you, how many options are sitting on the charts and where they're going to go. And how that works for us, and I'll tell you guys, this works very, very well for Supernova on the indices. Now, why would that be? Why would this work very well on an indice? Right? An indice is an index. So if anybody here is brand new and doesn't know what an indice is an index, which means it's something like US 30, NAS, JUR 30, S&P, those types of things are indices, which means they're an index, which means, right, when you're trading in Forex, you have two values, right? It's always US 30 paired with the US dollar, NAS paired with the US dollar, gold paired with the US dollar, Bitcoin paired with the US dollar, right? With Forex, we're always trading two values, right? That's why it's always called a pair, right? We're trading two values. Okay. So what's important is, and when we say indices, just as some education on what an indice is, it's an index, which means that one of the pairs, like the US 30 portion, right? You have US 30 against USD. The US 30 portion of it is an index of all those values. That's why they call it an indice, right? Because US 30 is an index. It's not all the individual stocks values, it's all of them grouped together, indexed into one value paired with the US dollar. NAS, 100 of them, right? 100 companies, all indexed into one value, not each individual stock, all indexed into one value, then paired with the US dollar. Okay. So that's what an indice is. Why does this work specifically on indices? And we'll talk about that. And, we're going to be in US 30, so the VIX is important to do. But if you're using this on things like gold, or you're using this on things like Bitcoin, right, or using this in some Forex pairs, right, if you're using those, the VIX isn't going to have the same amount of push, right? Because the options market doesn't have anything to do with euro, doesn't have anything to do with gold, and it doesn't have anything to do with crypto, right? The options markets have to do with the companies and the stocks that are in those indices. So I know that might be a little bit extra learning, but we're here for a boot camp. I'm going to teach you things. I'm open at, you guys are open to ask questions as well. But the options market those options are based on the companies that are in those indexes, which is who are in the indices. Okay. It's not completely useless, but it's not going to have much impact. So you don't really need it for BTC. It's not really going to give you that on gold as well. So it's not going to have an impact because options aren't going to play into crypto. It's specific into indices, right? Because it's talking about the options that are being purchased on the companies who are in these indexes. Okay, so how does that work into our fate? How does that work into, well, it was white there for a second, which means there wasn't any buyers or sellers. It was just the middle, right? That means it's neutral. So you have three different colors, okay? Right? And your three different colors are going to be, I'm going to put this up here for you, okay? Okay. Into who? That happened yesterday, so make sure you are going to through the parameters. I actually shared screenshots of the parameters as well. Okay, it's gonna have three colors. If it's blue, if it's green, buying sentiment in the option market. Okay. Okay. If it's red, okay. Selling sentiment. If it's white, neutral. Got it. Oh, to spell neutral apparently. Okay, which means it doesn't really have any buying or selling. As you can see, it's green now, and you only want to be you only want to sort of pay attention to the VIX when you're getting into the signal. Like right now, it's saying it's buying, and as you can obviously see, the chart's moving down. So it's not going to be a perfect indicator, but it does eliminate. Okay, it does eliminate. I don't. Okay, it does eliminate. I explained it yesterday. Okay, I'll explain it again for everybody. We only have 5 days here, so I don't really want to go over information twice. So please make sure you're watching the recordings when you're coming up to the next call. Okay, I'll explain it today, but moving forward, I don't want to explain something that I already have. We have limited time here. We're gonna have like five, maybe 7 or 8 hours together. I want to be able to cover everything I can in those time frames. Okay, so you can see, right? Right now it's got buying, but it's heading downwards on US 30 because this is based on the VIX and the options, right? So that means people are probably buying down here, right? Okay, so that's how you identify the VIX, okay? And that's how you use it. And you use it as you enter signals, which I'm going to talk about more. I'm going to talk about the gold candle. I'll talk about the signals, okay? Okay, which you enter on those signals. You want to know what's happening at the time of the signal. We don't really care about what's happening after. You might want to use this after, but we're going to be, we want to get into it. It got impulsive. It starts moving. Okay. But buy or sell button. It absolutely does not change every 5 seconds. It does not. Absolutely not. It's based on a 5-minute chart. It doesn't change every 5 seconds. So just pay attention to it when the signal comes. We wanted to know what it was doing when the signal comes. That's what's important. Not what it does after, not what it keeps doing. You want to pay attention to it when this signal comes, which we'll talk about what the signal is here shortly. Well, it's been sitting like this for a minute or so. How it changes every 5 seconds, I'm unsure. Okay, so we will be looking at what it's doing when the signal comes. Okay, that's why you get those Telegram alerts with this on it. We want to know what it's doing. Okay, we want to know what it's doing when the signal comes. That's why you get US 30 buy, VIX confirmation, green check mark. That means it's good. Okay, so this is important. I don't know if I just did a screenshot here, but let's do it again because I forgot. Okay. Okay, this is your screenshot. You can see it's got buying sentiment popping up. Okay. It's been in this buying sentiment now for 3 candles, so that's fully 3 minutes that it's been in this sentiment. So I doesn't it for sure does not change every 3 seconds for sure. Okay. So that's why how we use the VIX. Okay. And we'll talk about it. Okay. No, I do not. I don't use the VIX after. Yeah, I mean, secondary entries, we're going to talk about secondary entries on this. We will teach you guys a little bit of a pullback sort of deal entry where you can use it after this. And there's going to be secondary entries we'll be talking about. So that's going to be something we're going to go over Thursday, probably. We're going to talk about fair value gaps when they're left behind. Tomorrow is going to be talking about A setups, B setup and B setups. Okay. So the ones that are the best higher probability and the best setups we want against some of the other setups that we might we might not want because of other parameters. That's what we're going to do tomorrow. And on Thursday, we're going to talk about secondary entries or secondary confirmations if you want to be even more patient with this thing, because there's a fair value gap system that if you're very comfortable with fair value gaps that you can use, and there's also pullback opportunities to join it. Okay, so, and as you can see, this thing is obviously playing in the buying sentiment because it's pushing back on us. Okay, so let's talk about that. Is okay, the recordings are always available the same day. I dropped it in yesterday about an hour after. I dropped it in about an hour after our call yesterday, so they're available right away. They're in there, and there's a pinned message that I'll just take this, I'll edit that pinned message, and then you'll have day 1 and day 2 in the pinned messages. Okay, for the recordings, and everybody will have access to that chat and the recordings until Monday morning next week. Okay, which you'll keep the scanner till Sunday night, I believe, or Monday morning, and then you'll have access to the recordings as well. If you don't decide to kind of join into our organization, and go from there. Okay, so show you it. So that is your how to identify the VIX. I'm going to take that off the chart. Anybody else took that screenshot, feel free to drop it into the chat. Show us something to me. Okay, so while we're here, let's just talk about the signals. Okay, and I got to turn this off because it's going to confuse you guys. Just give me 1 sec here. Okay, I have mine's full. I'm just going to do something here. Just give me 1 sec. Thanks, Ted. If you want, not in that chat, in the bootcamp, so everybody sees it. Okay, where is this thing? I don't know if I can do that. I might not be able to do that on here, so I'm just gonna have to keep dealing with it. And no. Okay. So mine is obviously the original, and I've changed some things for brand new people to make sure that they're not getting themselves into trades they shouldn't be in. I obviously have been using this for a long time. I'll talk about that kind of at the end because I've had multiple people ask me in the chat, but I've been using scanners, and I have my patience and I have my discipline. I know the trades I should be getting into. I know the trades I shouldn't be getting into and all those things. So I can see signals in bad trade times and not take them. And unfortunately, the new person who comes in is usually looking to go and get as much profit as fast as they can, and they don't usually have the discipline to watch a signal go by, right? So I have removed that for brand new people. I obviously, 6 years of experience in trading here, can say no to a signal and wait for the next one. So I just took that off so I'll make sure that you guys are seeing all the same signals that I am. Okay, so let's just talk about them. Okay, let's talk about all our signals today. I'm just gonna give me 1 sec here. I'm just gonna pull up my trading view to make sure. Okay. And I just want to make sure they match a rue here. Okay, so the sell had confirmation. So we talked yesterday about how to manage these things, right? How to manage these trades, right? How to trail our stop and do all those things, right? We are entering positions. Okay, so this is somebody asked this question: what's this gold candle? So I went over this yesterday and I talked about how this thing gives signals. Okay, so the way it gives signals is the first thing it needs to see, and I'm going to do this again, and this will be the last time this week I do this, so make sure if you need to go through the recording, okay, on where the signals come from. First thing you need to see is either a red or green star. Okay, this thing has a red star. Okay, so that's the first part of the signal. First thing that needs to happen needs a red star. Okay, the second thing it needs to happen is 3, and if we're talking about sells, is 3 black crows. Okay, which means 3 down candles, 3 red candles in a row. 1, 2, 3. That's the second part of it. Those 3 candles need to happen in the next 10 candles. So after you see this red star, you got this candle here, and then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it'd have to happen in this window. Okay? In between these candles, which it happens literally immediately. You have 1 candle and it happens in the next 3. Okay. inside those candles. Then the next parameter is the chart a candle must break and close the other side of the 50 in the direction you want to go, right? So the signal comes because the third candle breaks the 50 and closes on the other side. That is your gold candle. That is your signal. This is your signal. This gold candle is your signal to entry. Now you can get into it at the end, or you can get into it as it breaks the 50. Okay, we want to see it break and close. That's when you're going to get that sell. But once you get really used to this thing, sometimes you'll get into it a little bit earlier. Okay, so if it's a buy signal, we'll show you a buy signal. Okay, 100%. They indicate reversals. But the problem is those stars can move. Right, the stars can move, so we have to these secondary pieces like the three candles and the break of the 50 are the extra confirmation to make sure the star has stopped moving. And it's not always the case, but that those two pieces are when it's like, okay, the star stopped moving, the reversal's on, let's get into it, right? That's what that means, right? Because before, I'll tell you, Marco, who is an amazing trader and he trades Bitcoin, he would just wait for that star and three candles and be in, or he would even just hit the star. And so he would take lots of losses, but he would also take these monstrous wins, so he was still profitable. Lots of people don't like to take 4, 5, 6 losses and then take a monstrous win to get it all back. So I had to create these extra little confirmations to help us identify when the stars stop moving. Okay, that's what those other two confirmations are for. Okay, so the buy happened here, right? You got the green star. This is your buy, right? Green star. It actually happens on a blue candle, and you get 1, 2, 3 right away. Then you get another 1, 2, 3 happens a couple of times. Okay, then it breaks and closes on the other side of the 50. That's your signal. You're going to get that gold candle, right? Happened here too. And as you can see, right, the star moves. Okay. I'm going to go over all the signals, Maggie. You just pay attention. Just, I'll get there. Okay. And as you can see, you're like, hey, how did this sell happen? There's no star. Well, this star originally was here. And sometimes it can still move. Then it went and jumped over here. And then it went and jumped up here. Right? The star moved. That's how you got to sell here. Okay. The screen is not on me. The screen's not on me. I don't know. I'm pinned up in the corner. You guys can all see the chart still, right? I can't. I can see the chart. So yeah. I don't know what you got going on there, Shady. Okay, so this is what we're looking for. And I'm going to go over all these signals now. Just let me pan out here. Let me get all this stuff off the chart here for us. Okay, and then we'll go over all these signals. So that I hope that clears up how the signals work. Okay. Still trading you today. Okay. Come on, Shady. Get with it. Okay. Let's go back here and talk about all the signals today. Okay, let's talk about them all. We're going to go through every one of them. Okay, so Maggie just asked, that signal came and it immediately reversed. Well, something happened here right away. Okay, so let's just put the position up here, right? We're looking for 50, right? We're looking for a 50 pip stop. Okay, which is right there. We're looking for a 100 pip TP, right? That's our long-term TP with some trailing stops along the way. Okay, so what happens here? Let's just see how far it got to. Come on, man. God. Okay, so two things happened here. In the rules we went over yesterday, two things happens. There's two very important things that happen here. Okay. And while sometimes this might take you out of some trades, this will protect you from losses. As you can see, this would have been a full 50 pip loss. But we had a green star, which when we see the green star, and sometimes the green star can lag, right? This green star, I think it probably populated after. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's try and do it in replay mode. Okay. Let's just talk about it. We'll see if that green star's there. So as you can see, that green star wasn't there right away. Right? It does populate after. Sometimes those stars can lag. It populates later, which makes it hard to sometimes protect if that star's not right on it. Okay. But it made 30, it ran down here to 36 pips. What do we do at 36 pips? We go to break even. Right? We move our stop loss into profit. Right? That would have been our stop loss. Right? We would have got 10 pips out of this. Okay. So this would have been plus 10. And yes, I know sometimes we want to get more in stretch. I mean, this was happening right after some news. There's 30 pips there. I don't mind taking 30 pips in trades. Okay. So we were plus 10. Right. If we're following the rules, and I tell you guys can figure out how you want to use this yourself, don't bother me. Okay. But we were plus 10 here. Okay. And the VIX was on for this one. I can see it right there. Okay. Now we had, let's keep going. All right, 5 times. So let's roll. Okay. We can get a signal for a while here. And it was a sell, I believe. Okay. It's coming here shortly. We make it. All right. Okay. No, it has to be within 30 candles. You guys don't, to be totally honest, you don't even have to worry about that. I'm telling you what the signal does, but just follow the signal. Like you don't have to do the math. The indicator does that for you. Right? It's 30 candles. Okay. Okay, we got 953. This one was confirmed. Okay. Hold back on us. A bit of an iffy one. We'll talk a little bit more about how we can be a little more patient with this thing. But let me 50 here. Okay, so we got into this thing. Our 100 pip TP. Okay. Market is not running hard on us here lately. Okay, bounces around. I will tell you, I got out of this thing at BE. It wicked me out. What happens right there? Okay, what happens right here? What did we just see under there? What's this? Right. First we got into it, 85. Didn't quite, it did get to 30 pips as well. So got the 30 pips and a green star popped. Okay. So stop losses moved to 10 pips. Took us out. Okay. We're gonna go plus 10. Okay. Let's check out our next one. I think we got another sell out right after it, I think. Yeah, there it is. Okay, another sell. Okay. Another sell. Right here. Gets all the way down here to 30. And we could use this as our stop loss. We get 91, so 81 right there. Protected at 10. Okay, this thing does go down here and break this 238. So if anybody here trades with me, what happens at that 238? This thing actually gets down to 50, right? So we should be protecting 30 pips at 50, right? You know, we go down here to whatever, what do we get into that thing? And you're at 491, so we're going to go down to 451, which is literally right on that 238, which is where I would have protected it anyways after it broke below it. Because if it broke below and then reversed above the 238, I wouldn't want to be in it anyways, right? Okay. Now this one's a little bit tricky, the next one. So now we're up another, okay, we got another 30 there. Okay. I'm going to talk a little bit about this one. Okay, because this is just, okay, we got another 30. So at this point, we've got 50 pips. Okay, if we're risking 1% per trade, you got your 1% today. Peace, I'm out. I'm done. You get 1% in a day, you're good, you're chill. You don't got to trade anymore. 1% a day averaged over the month is a 20% month. You don't need to be trading. Okay, so I'm just telling you guys because that is me as an educator and a person who teaches you to trade. I teach people to be comfortable with taking the singles and walking away so they can live life. Okay. So next trade. This one where it gets a little bit tricky, and we're going to talk about this. Okay. This buy, oh, never mind. This buy did not have confirmation. Okay. I would have taken it. I believe I did actually take it, even though it didn't have the VIX confirmation because it was on trend. So we're going to talk about that a little bit tomorrow as well. Okay. Is that the one thing that this thing has that this was on trend? And I guess that doesn't really help you guys here if you're only using Supernova because Killshot has a panel. And so I can just show you quickly from Killshot why I did take this one. Okay. And I took this one and it actually saved me from the sell. Okay. Okay. It actually saved me from the sell. Okay. So the one thing that this has going for it is we do actually want to take these on. They do call reversals, but the better ones are on trend, right? We were on an uptrend, right? And I'll show you guys kill shot and show you how simple kill shot is. If you guys join the community, you get kill shot too. Kill shot is my original one that I've been using for over 5.5 years, where this was originally created. And as you can see on here, right? As you can see on here, it was actually on trend. The 15-minute trend was on an uptrend. So I took this one, despite what the VIX said. Now, of course, we can go and the VIX is going to keep you out of some of these trades, but it also will it keeps you out of the majority of losses. Okay. But if we took this thing, which I did, it actually not only did I get in this thing and get myself into a protected position, but I also saved myself from the sell, which I'm going to show you guys later on what that means, which tomorrow when we go over the setups, okay? No, because the 3 already happened. The signal doesn't come on the 3 candles. These ones have been happening because they happen so quickly. Okay. The 3 candles happen early. The 3 candles can happen at any time in the first 10 candles. Look, one, you got a green star, 1, 2, 3. Happened right there. Then it happened again. 1, 2, 3. Happened again. You had 2, 3 colored candles in a row. The signal comes after. As long as you got the green star and the impulsive move off the green star, when it breaks at 50 is when you're going to get your signal. It does not have to. Okay? Does not have to. It doesn't have to do that. It has to happen within the first 10 candles. The signal could come way after, right? It could come way after. As you can see, green star, 1, 2, 3. It hit the first set of the parameters. And then it did it again. 1, 2, 3, did it again. Then broke the 50. And that's when the signal comes when it breaks the 50. That's the last confirmation. Okay. But I took this one. Okay. You can see it goes for a run, right? It doesn't get to 30 pips here. And this saved me from the sell. Okay. This saved me from the sell. Why? Stop. Okay. Why did it save me from the sell? Because I was still in the buy. And the sell actually had your confirmations. It actually had the confirmations and it turned into a loss. Okay. So it actually saved me from that. And then when running all the way up here, and I got 50 pips out of it. I got 50 pips out of that, and that was the end of my day. Okay. Because I closed this one at BE. Closed this one at BE and didn't give it any space. Okay. But we're going to take that out. Okay. We're going to talk about where we would be right now. Okay. And then we would have taken. So if we didn't take that, we're already up 50 pips. You very easily could have walked away from the day. But let's just say we kept trading. Sell came. We lost 50 pips. We went back to break even for the day. Okay. Lost 50 pips. Happened pretty quick. Okay. Now there's a couple of reasons why we could stay out of this. And I'm going to talk to you more about these A+ setups. Okay. I'm going to talk to you more about it. One thing that was super important here, okay, is that there wasn't enough room back to this. This little thing here, I want to get rid of that. Right? This didn't have enough room back to the 238. So one thing that's super important, and we'll go over this more, is that, and I'm going to show you more about the setups. We shouldn't have taken this trade. Now, if you look at these trades, and these trades feel very similar, right? They feel very similar. But one thing that's super important, as you can see, when it hit this 238, that 238 is a rejection level. And both of these trades have something that this trade does not. And the number one important thing when it comes to trading is risk reward. Okay. Is your risk reward. Okay. That's your number one thing in trading is your risk reward. Is there the 238 is a rejection level and it's in our way? Okay. Is there enough room back to this 238 to even get ourselves to, if we're following all our parameters, okay, no green star, right? Okay. Is it following? Do we have the opportunity to get to break even? That's the first thing I'm going to ask myself. If I take a trade, man, okay, this chart is just out of here. Okay. Do I have the opportunity on this sell? If it wants to go back to this 238, do I have the opportunity to get to break even? Right? If this thing wanted to run back to this 238, not only did I have the opportunity to get back to break even, I had opportunity to get 50 pips out of it, which is 1%. So for me, this trade was good. This one had 50 pips back to it as well. I had the opportunity to get 50, which it got to, which is 1%. Right? This trade does not. This trade doesn't even have the space or the room for me to get to break even because my break even is at 30 pips. It doesn't even have room if it gets back to this 238. If it did want to come back to this 238 and then shoot up out of here, it wouldn't even have given me an opportunity to take to get to break even. So for me, as a trader who pays attention to my risk reward, who everybody should pay attention to your risk reward, okay? It doesn't even give me that opportunity. I had no interest in this trade. There's another piece I'm going to show you where it comes to structure. We're going to go over that more. But there's only 16 pips back to the 238. So even if I got into this and it came all the way back to the 238 and then did one of these, maybe I could have protected against that 238, but it doesn't have enough room for me. It just didn't. And because I was already in that buy, I held the buy and I didn't get into the sell. Does everybody understand that? Everybody understand kind of that the next level you take sort of the indicator to. Okay. Didn't have enough reward. And the name of your game in trading is risk reward. We want to get as much reward as we can. This has no reward in it. It doesn't even have my break even. So I didn't take that. And I was also in the buy. So I still in the buy, which I really liked because it was on trend, which we'll explain more tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow will be the A plus setup stuff. Okay. So this we shouldn't have taken. Now you could have, you're already up 50 pips potentially too, even if you were just jamming, you're already up 50 pips. We don't want to take this with only a little bit of room. You know, that's our greed talking, but we shouldn't have taken anything. Okay. If we did, we went back to break even today. Okay. And we'd still be, that's where we would end. We would just sort of be at break even though this one ran and it was against the VIX. It had some pips in it. There was another confirmation sort of piece with it, and then it just did this. So, and this is why we would be looking to get these impulsive moves back on the trend, because this went back on the trend and just went shot up out of here 140 pips in the last few minutes. Right? So at the very worst, if you trailed here and you moved your stops a little bit here, and even if you took this one, right, you would be at break even today. You'd be at break even. But we're going to teach you guys how to use this much better. Okay. So I hope that got everybody covered here today, right? We didn't take this one because the VIX didn't confirm this one. The VIX did confirm that one. And it didn't have enough reward. It hadn't really broken any structure, which we're going to go over structure more on Thursday. Okay. So that is our call today. Thank you guys for joining. We're getting more and more in depth. I know that. Okay. Okay. That'll happen outside the boot camp, Ted, but I got you. And if you want to go to my YouTube channel, it'll show you how to do it. My YouTube channel has that on it. Okay. So, you know, there's probably some beginners here, I'm sure. And hopefully that VIX stuff didn't kind of go over your head. I just wanted to explain it more in depth so you can start to understand what you're looking at, right? Start to understand scanner a little bit more, start to understand, you know, what you're looking at on this chart. Okay. So everybody have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining us here today, and we'll keep rolling here for the rest of the week. And you know, we were about already 60 pips or 60 people less than we were yesterday. So we know that the people who are interested are still here. So, like I said, and I always close this thing, love you guys, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And we will see you at the same time tomorrow.